What's going on, people? Welcome back to my personal channel. Welcome back to another video. Had to take a day's gap. I can't lie. After all the Kai Havertz news, I thought I needed just a little break because there's been so many weeks just going round in circles over the same news, back and forth and back and forth. But it is here now. Kai Havertz is a Chelsea player. We can actually relax and we can rest. And I've got the boy, Chelsea football Twitter zone, and I don't know who rattles people more out of me and you, but we both have a lot of people rattled. It's Matisse. Initial thoughts, bro. How are you feeling?
I'm good, bro. You're right on the rattling part for sure. Obviously, on that platform can get very toxic, but luckily I don't care. So
people take that way too seriously.
They do, you know, and it's funny because the ones that say don't take it seriously are the ones that take it seriously the most. Like, I'm making videos, I'm having fun, I'm eating my biscuits, I'm playing my music, listening to Europa League music, and people are getting triggered. Get off the app, go to YouTube. Do what I want, bro.
You ever notice that the same people who try to say don't take the app too seriously on the app are the guys who are trying to take the app so seriously, and the guys that are trying to push that police mentality?
The thing is when we take the app seriously, when it's important, like racism, Tammy getting abused, then they want to say, oh, it's just Twitter, it doesn't matter, but it's actually physically affecting the player on the pitch. But when we don't take the app seriously, we just want to joke around, then they take the app seriously. So they've got it a little bit twisted, a little bit backwards, but, you know, hopefully they'll pattern up soon because, like I said, I'm not going anywhere. I made that video out of sarcasm. First 20 comments were like, don't leave. And I was like, don't worry, I'm not going. I fucking love this platform. I love Twitter. That's the thing. People keep saying go YouTube, but the interaction and the love that I get on Twitter, and it's so easy to upload, it's quick. You know, YouTube, it takes ages, it takes hours. Twitter is just, I love that platform, man. Like the people that follow me on there and I talk with on a daily basis, I fucking love them, man. So I'm not gonna leave Twitter for a time. So these people are just gonna have to get used to me because I'm not really going anywhere, to be honest.
Good, because Twitter's an unmatched app, honestly. Like you were saying, YouTube, I like it. But compared to Twitter, you don't get the same amount of interaction as you do off Twitter compared to other apps. Even if it's the case of people are just going to keep fighting with each other and everything like that. It's a good thing with Chelsea Twitter because it's never really a boring day, is it?
Nah, and why would you leave Twitter when we're just about to have a gargantuan season? Have our we're about to trigger so many people. You think I'm leaving for that? Nah, bro. I'll leave when we're shit.
This is the upturn for us. You know how much shit we were getting this time last year, and now we get to throw it straight back in everyone's faces as well.
It's true. And the thing, I don't like to be that guy that like pisses off rivals. I do come on shows and be unbiased and really talk about, you know, tactics for other clubs and say, look, I really rate Arteta very highly. Like, I'm not completely on this bias train, but if Glorious Guendouzi is gonna start quoting my tweets and talking shit, then of course I'm gonna have to go into bait mode. So
speaking of Glorious Guendouzi, let's have a chat about Brave Batshuayi as well. I will say some of those lines had me creasing. The one where you're like, some people say hi to Pogba Senior before their own parents. You know how long I was pissing myself for off that one.
Because it's true. Do you know what? It's true. And the thing is with my videos is I try to mix it up. Some of them will be cringe. I'll admit. Some of them I will be cringe. Some of them I won't say a word. Sometimes I will just speak facts and I won't make any jokes and I'll just try and give an opinion. It depends what mood I'm in. I'm a normal human being. Like a lot of people, they want a robot. They want you to deliver the consistent content that they're used to, and that's not going to be me. You may even see me, you know, do a video where I'm on an escalator and I'm asking people about Chelsea's new signing, but I just make up a name and see if they fuck with it. Do you know what I mean? Like I'll always create different shit. So that's why the people that fuck with me heavy and they actually just enjoy what I try and do, that's the people I love the most. The people that are just like, they're switching on me every 5 minutes, then, do you know what I mean? Do what you want to do.
Yeah, that's just jarring. One of the things I will say about your content is very different. It's like different in its own sense, and I like it because of that. I don't know how you think of these things so off the cuff, especially the one, I don't know what it was. What was it, Lionel Messi? And you had the little and everything like that. That was mad.
You know what? Because I met Dami a few weeks ago. He's my mate from he's Nigerian. He just from Lagos. We did a little collab and we were just like sitting in the park and we kind of went with this like 15-year-old rap video on your knees kind of vibe and like spitting shit at rivals. And then I was like, I would love to actually try an accent because I haven't tried to do an accent in a while or ever, and I've always wanted to do one. So when Messi was linked with every club in the world, I was like, there's no point not getting on your hands and knees for Messi, like simping for the guy. It's Messi, like everybody should be doing that. So Yeah, fuck it. I knew he wasn't joining, and I do this a lot where I know the player won't be joining, but I'll do it anyway because I know in a couple months' time people will get a laugh out of it. Same with like Saka over Chilwell. I really rate Saka highly. I rate him above Chilwell. Like I'm just being honest as a fan of football. I rate Saka very highly. And I just was like, yeah, we'll get Saka over Chilwell. But obviously the Arsenal fans, like a couple months later, he signs the contract. We knew he wasn't coming to Chelsea, but hey, it's just extra clout. So these men don't understand that these tactics are just easy. Do you know what I mean? These
If you
Arsenal...
lot can get them, if you lot can throw the bait and they'll catch it, then it just is what it is, isn't
Yo,
it?
it's easy, bro. It's easy. I knew Saka wasn't coming to Chelsea, but I was like, why not? Like, why not? I don't mind. It's just a video. That's what I'm saying. I'm just enjoying myself. So yeah, man, I love that platform.
All right, let's speak about transfer activity though. Like on a serious point, we got Kai Havertz now. We can relax on that one, but we still got players that could be coming in. We're still not done, which is, I'm not gonna lie, it's even surprising by this point. Apparently, we're in for a new goalkeeper, which like everybody wants. I think no one's gonna say anything on that, and we're in for a new DM as well. First off, I got this question as well on Twitter. What goalkeeper are you after specifically? I know Mendy's our main number one target, but
Yeah.
if you had to throw it out there, any other options that haven't been thrown out there, who are you picking?
Man, do you know what? I remember when we were linked with Oblak and Ter Stegen. Those were the two players. Those are two goalkeepers. Obviously, everybody would love to have. They were the dream scenarios. I edged Ter Stegen a little bit because he's used to his team playing in a high line. He's used to being a sweeper keeper. And I think if we're going to play possession, we're going to play a high line quite clearly as we have. You know, then we need that experience. But obviously, Oblak is just as good. The guy is world class. And then ever since then, I knew that was never going to happen. So I haven't chosen a goalkeeper target, if I'm honest. I'm not one of these people that will jump into choosing a target for no reason. Like, obviously, I heavily went for Sancho. I'm now heavily Havertz. Like, I don't really choose a target for the sake of it. I don't have a goalkeeping target because I haven't watched Mendy. I don't think most people have, if I'm honest. I know I haven't. So,
Nope.
Yeah, I mean, people are just jumping the gun sometimes on that. I haven't watched him. So if the club sign him, cool. But I don't know who he is, if I'm being real.
I just know he's tall, and he'll
yeah,
do something
I know he's tall, but
when you're
I know he's tall, but then you can be a tall goalkeeper, and then you can get hit with low shots, and then it's a problem. So being tall is not necessarily the answer. I've always said your leap, your anticipation of crosses, your judgment, that's also factors that people don't take into account. You can be a lanky bastard for all you want, but do you know what I mean? There's other factors as well. Cross collection is only one part of it. So I don't know who he is. Donnarumma is again another link, but his agent is Raiola. I know Chelsea don't fuck with him because Lukaku, that saga with Kante. You can see Kante with Lukaku, how much he wanted him now that he's at Inter. We ended up getting Morata. And Chelsea personally just don't want to fuck with agents that are going to continue to ask for huge agent fees every new contract, continue to cause up a problem every time. You know, it's just like it's like bringing in a festation into your environment and then complaining that you can't get rid of it. Do you know what I mean? So they're not going to fuck with an agent like that. Hence why they got rid of, hopefully, Willian. Same issue with Kia, I think, or Kaya, whatever the fuck his name is.
Yeah, it was, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's why Raiola was never as much as I wanted Reguilon from Sevilla. Again, that agent, I don't think they want those agents around the club. So that's why Donnarumma is not really realistic. And again, as well with Donnarumma, his contract's expiring at the end of next year. So if they're going to get him, may as well get him on a free. And hopefully, I'm hoping he changes agent. Then I'll be really confident we can get him. Again, Pope, another decent goalkeeper. Everybody's better than Kepa. That's the period. That's the point. But
it's like the left back situation, isn't it, where you just want someone to fill the gap.
Exactly. Like everybody's better than Kepa, but at the same time, it's like longevity we're trying to build here. So Pope, a good goalkeeper in the Premier League, but again, I'm not gonna jump up and down for him. I never would have in the first place. Onana, another person at Ajax. Rumors have gone cold. Great shot stopper. Cross collection's a bit dodgy, but I do think he'll improve. I think out of everyone, he's got him and Donnarumma have the most potential, but again, he's not perfect. So I'm not really shouting for anyone, to be honest.
Okay. I've got a couple comments in from the YouTube comment section. First one, I don't know if this is true or not. Thoughts on Kante? Because this was just throwing me off a bit.
Yeah, my thoughts on Kante are like really clear. It's not, look, this comment here. It's not that I don't rate Kante. I rate Kante. He's world class. I keep saying it. I do propaganda for him a lot, but I'm not also blind to not see that he has weaknesses. This is the thing. A lot of people don't want to speak about Kante's weaknesses. As much as I love Kante, he's brilliant defensively, but in that role on the ball, for me, our ball progression and our build up is not great. I've seen the first half of games after lockdown with Kante playing DM, especially in the first half, and our turnovers have been quite poor. The way that we move the ball around, the way we circulate, it hasn't been great. He's not always available for the pass, and I'm not expecting him to be as good as Jorginho in that role in terms of on the ball. But I am expecting the defensive midfielder to be a bit more rounded. And the thing is, you have to understand, I'm used to watching Kante in a double pivot box his whole career. So you can't expect me. I know some of you have, but I'm not going to just be like, okay, whatever. He's playing DM now. I love it. Like, I'm used to Kante being world class in a certain role. And I still feel he's better doing that double pivot where he can roam and close people down. I still don't think he's best as a sitter. If you watched France the other day, he played in a double pivot, I believe, and he was very, very bloody good. Do you know what I mean? So, you know, that is still for me his strongest position. He's probably still, for this system, the best DM, but I still don't think he's perfect. That's what I'm saying. So I'm happy for him to start next season, but I do want an alternative option like an Ampadu who can be a bit more well-rounded. He's not better, but he's more well-rounded. So that's my point on it at the moment. And also his injury issues. We have to also be very clear of that. This club are not managing him properly. I've been saying for the longest after lockdown, we shouldn't be playing him back to back to back to back. 90 minutes, 90 minutes, 90 minutes. It was ludicrous, stupid. It was bait and obvious he was going to get injured. When he did, he missed the last chunk of the season. That was the most important. And if my thing is, if you're not going to manage him properly, then you're going to cut him for half the season anyway. So again, you're decreasing his value to me. And the final thing on it is that every player has their price. Kante used to be untouchable for me with like, you wouldn't put a price on him maybe. Now I would put a price on him because I don't feel like he's indispensable. I don't feel like he's unreplaceable now. Like, yes, he's world class. Yes, he's an incredible player, but you can get someone who's maybe not as good, but more well-rounded, and the team will maybe still function in a decent way. So he's not the answer to our problems. Like, even when Kante plays, we still have issues sometimes. You know, I remember the transition against West Ham, we conceded 3 goals. So yeah, that's my point on him, but he's a great player.
I agree with a little bit of what you said there. To be fair, most of it. My only thing is, do you not think Kante could change up his style of play in the older years? Because I've always had this theory that N'Golo Kante can play that Makelele role that everyone's begged him to play. It's just once he loses his engine and he can't roam around the field as quickly as he used to. Do you think he can turn into that DM role? Because I've always said there's potential for him to do that long term.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is with Kante is it's very black and white in our fan base. You either rate him or you don't, and people don't understand there is a rating him and judging him honestly and fairly, and still having that middle ground and having that debate. But when I'm speaking on Kante and Makelele, they're such different players. We have to understand Makelele was the GOAT in that role. Do you know what I mean? The role was named after him. So for that to happen, that means he was pretty damn special. You can't really just replicate that just because you're world class. Do you know what I mean? And the thing is with that role is that he was so good at what he done in terms of sitting and reading the game and he controlled games. Like, people will underestimate how good he was in possession. And I'm not saying Kante's bad on the ball. He's brilliant on the ball at times. He can dribble past players. He can be very good at breaking lines. And again, he, much like Willian did, come deep and break through and split defenses open just by running. He's got good close control. He's nutmegging people against Liverpool in Super Cups. He's good on the ball, but it's when you're good on the ball, it depends what area you are on the pitch as to how effective you will be, if you see what I mean. Hudson good on the ball, but I wouldn't play him holding mid. Do you know what I mean? That's not a disgrace to say he's not good on the ball. It's just certain areas of the pitch you're more comfortable than others. Am I completely comfortable with Kante dropping in between the centre-backs, collecting the ball off the goalkeeper? Not as much. But would I like him in the box-to-box role, splitting through lines, being able to roam? We have to remember his engine, as much as he gets injured, his engine is still better than most people in his team. So to have him just very restricted and rigid, I don't fuck with it personally. But if he can adapt and get better, I'm cool with it. I'm not Kante out. I just say if 100 million comes in, I'm not stupid. Like, of course I'm gonna take it. Like, do you know what I mean? I'm not one of these guys that's just like, oh, doesn't matter what price, he's our bald king. Like, no, come on now. There's business to be made here. Do you know what I mean? And he's getting injuries, he's getting older. And I like having experienced players in the team. But if someone slaps down 100 million for someone, we have to have a discussion. We have to.
Okay, 100 million. I can say you're selling it to me a little bit more. I've been the sort of guy who's like, I don't think Kante's untouchable, but I think he's in that middle period from being one of the players who are untouchable to being just below. So I kind of get it. Guys, also continue to throw in any messages down in the comment section below if you haven't done so already. People are still asking about that Twitter video. Don't worry, the false alarm. Matisse is not quitting Twitter. You guys are not rid of him just yet. So it says I attack the best in Europe next season. Now, I don't think either of us are going to go too far and say that. But depending on how quickly the team gels together, how potent is this attack going to be, bro?
Yeah, I mean, I think he has the potential to be top 3 in Europe. I wouldn't say the best because Bayern Munich, you have to pay homage. It's not just about the players, right? It's about the chemistry they've built. And you look at the way Gnabry, Lewandowski, Muller, very efficient, very creative player. Muller is very disrespected. He's had an unbelievable year and he's getting older. You know, most assists, I think, record. The way that he puts things on a plate for others is his movement. You know, he is the perfect second striker. Opening up space for others, so we have to pay respect. Sané is joining that trio. I absolutely love Sané. You know, he's probably my favorite player outside of Chelsea in terms of the Premier League before he left to Bayern. I love Sané. I think he's unbelievable. And so I have to put them first. And then after that, you're looking at, you can't really disrespect Liverpool with the amount of goals they put out. I know they're maybe not the most, you know, I don't know, skillful or easy on the eye sometimes, but they are efficient. They get the goals. Do you know what I mean? You have to respect that. Man City are always going to be up there. So I believe we can be top 3, top 5 when this team reaches its pinnacle. But at the same time, they have to, first of all, they have to gel. They have to get used to each other's movements. I do believe that there's a lot of flexibility and there's a lot of chemistry to be built here. Pulisic and Werner, I believe, are very interchangeable because we know Werner likes to get into those half spaces in between the right side of centre back and the right back, and he likes to go out wide as a forward. We've got Ziyech and Havertz, who are extremely interchangeable with a right wing and right centre mid. Again, they both like, Ziyech loves to come central and roam, and Havertz is very comfortable out wide. So there's a lot of interchange to happen. Havertz is very comfortable false 9. That gives Werner what he's used to in playing a striker with a 2-man.
Oh, I think Matisse might have cut out for a sec. Oh, I hope he hasn't frozen. That would be peak. If he's frozen, he'll be back on in a second. Guys, I want to apologize. Yep, he's back.
Yeah. So as I was saying, there's a lot of places to go with the attack in terms of chemistry and flexibility. You've got Havertz and Werner who can form a 2-man striker system, as Havertz has played false 9 a lot since lockdown. And I'm pretty sure those two will form a partnership. Oli, you know, Oli, you know, Oli Giroud, he is a very important player for us, as we saw towards the end of the season. And Ziyech and Havertz are very interchangeable as well. They're both comfortable out wide. They're both comfortable centrally. So I think there's a lot of potential here for a very fluid system, which is what Lampard wants. So yeah, it has the potential to be top 5 for sure.
All right, first off, big up Babs in the comment section if he's watching as well. One question I wanted to ask as well. I want to take this into competition because right now, this is the first time I can say this about Chelsea in years. We are stacked for depth. And it's so exciting to see the selection headaches. These are the good selection headaches I've been waiting for years. Not back in the day thinking, are we having Batshuayi up front or are we having Morata up front? Is it Drinkwater or is it Bakayoko? No, none of that this season. But we'll start off with right back. We'll talk about the whole team in general because I've had right back a lot. Reece James or Azpilicueta? Who do you think is going to start more this season?
My heart wants Reece James, and I love Aspie because he's been our best fullback this year. But in terms of the way we're trying to go, in terms of attacking, getting crosses in, just being in possession as well of the football, I just think Reece James has got obviously the potential to be one of the best in the league. If he's not, you know, getting there already, his crossing, he's the best crosser for me in the club. His crossing is unmatched. You know, the inside the right boot, outside the right boot, he's got it all. He can cross from different angles. He can cross from the inside right channel, which Aspie used to do in the back 3 under Kante. He can cross from wide positions. He can cross from anywhere. And if we can get someone who's good on good using their head, if Drogba was in there, Lord Jesus, Reece James would have about 40 assists a season.
Do you know how many assists he would have had?
It would be a mess. It'd be illegal stuff, bro. But at the same time, listen, Aspie's going to be needed as per usual. Do you know what I mean? Some of us thought he was going to have an Ivanovic decline. This guy is so consistent. He's so good for the big games. He's very very reliable defensively. So I expect Aspie to play. But I'm hoping Reece James is having a season where he breaks out more, he starts more, and he starts to really put his stamp on this team. And Azpi is more used as an emergency if we have a big game or Reece James drops in form. But I want Reece James to start taking ownership of that position because, like I said, we're building for the years to come, and Azpi is for the now, but Reece James is for the future. So I want Reece James to start really putting in some minutes now this season. But Azpi, yeah, like no disrespect to Azpi. Azpi's going to play left back as well. Do you know what I mean? Azpi's going to play left back as well because Chilwell, I think anybody who knows me knows I'm not completely convinced, but I'm looking forward to now backing him and I want him to do well. But Azpi's going to cover for the both of them. We're going to get injuries. We're going to get suspensions. So you don't need to worry, fam. Like, we got 3 good fullbacks there. You are going to get game time. So I'm not really worried.
One question I want to ask about Azpilicueta, do you think that's going to be his role, though, just supplementing the rest of the back four? Because I don't really know where he fits long term because he's great one-on-one defending. He's great in his defensive attributes, but athletically, he's really seemed to fall down. And I think he's just a little bit too slow now. He's a little bit not tall enough now. I'm thinking right back, Reece James looks like the long-term option.
Yeah.
Centre back, you can't really put him next to Thiago Silva because that's just the slowest back line in the top 6. And even at left back, he's good there, but he's not really going to be great there because he's still on his weak foot, so he's going to be very limited. Yeah. So I don't really know where we fit him. Is it just a case that he sits on the bench, or do we put him in now?
He can start some games, but I do want to see him fizzled out a bit, and it's for his own good because the longevity of his career, if he plays less games, he's going to last longer. Do you know what I mean? And he's very durable. He's not getting many injuries, but let's not push our luck like we did with Kante. Do you know what I mean? He is the perfect squad player to have for the next couple of years because he can fill all of the positions and he does it very well. Not competently, he does it very well. But for the progression of Reece James, there's no time better to develop him, and this is the key. This is a 4-year project. There's no better time to develop Reece James than now. There's no point saying Azpi's better now when we're in a team that are full of developing players. Kai Havertz will continue to develop. Mason Mount will continue to develop. Billy Gilmore, Reece James, Zuma even is still developing. He's still trying to get to his peak. It's better to play him now, let him develop with the team, let him establish some chemistry of Ziyech, let him get used to playing football, than to say he's not good enough now, so we'll leave him on the bench. And then when it's time to win titles and Azpi's too old, Reece James isn't ready. So let's get him ready. Let's plan for the future. That's the whole point. The whole point is to plan for the future. He's not a bum. You're not taking a massive risk. This is a high potential right back we're talking about. You know what I mean? This is a top talent in English football. So let's play him. Trent got his minutes for a reason, and he got his minutes at Liverpool. They could have kept playing Klein. They didn't. They played Trent, and Trent proved them. So let's do the same with Reece James because he's got just as much ability as Trent, if not more, in terms of being an all-rounder. So let's play him. Let's get him on the pitch more often, and let's reap the rewards. Let's not think Mourinho, Kante times where we don't give youngsters a chance. We're building now, so let's build. That's the whole point.
Okay. Same mentality then, but I want to change the player. Tammy Abraham, what are you thinking? Because now he's not even second string striker now. I think he's our third choice, and I think that's been the case for the last couple months now. I would add Mason Mount to this, but I also think that we know the state of the midfield, and we also know how crucial Mason Mount is to the team. He is still going to get game time, so I'm not going to be too worried about his progression. Tammy Abraham is more interesting to me because Giroud's better right now. Werner's better. I also think the Giroud Werner link up would be better than the Werner Tammy Abraham link up as well. Definitely. So, what are your thoughts?
My thoughts on that one is that one, Tammy Abraham's older by about 4 years, so there's a different dynamic there. Tammy Abraham and Timo Werner are not very far away in age, so Timo Werner is also for the long term. It's not the same situation dynamic where you have Azpi who's not and Reece James is. It's a very clear passing of the guard. There's no clear passing of the guard here. Timo Werner is very young. He can be here for the next decade. Same with Tammy. So they got to fight it out. Another issue with that position is that it is cutthroat. The striking position is what can cost you games. It can cost you positions. It can cost you peas and money at the end of the season. It's not a joke man position. So I'm more reluctant to say, do you know what I mean? You have to earn that position. You don't really just get the chances. And right back, you can fill in and you can get cover from your centre back, and your winger can drop in. And Ziyech is a very hard-working player from the Ajax system. He can help you out. You can cover up deficiencies. You cannot cover up deficiencies in a striking position. You must score. You must score, and you must score frequently. Now, Tammy's coming off of a back of a great first season. It's very underrated how well he's been. No penalties. I think he's got 16 Premier League goals. But it's Chelsea Football Club, and he's still got a lot of his game to improve. And personally, this is up to now who you believe in more in terms of potential. I personally have more faith in Reece James getting to the pinnacle than Tammy, because I see a lot more deficiencies in Tammy's game. Tammy's had a better season maybe than Reece, but I see Reece being more complete in the future. Whereas Tammy, his hold-up play improved, but then it kind of digressed. And I know he had a little injury, but he does fall to the ground too often. His heading ability must improve big time. Even his finishing, he's not what I wouldn't call him a clinical finisher. I wouldn't say he's a natural finisher. I'd say he still needs to improve there. So there's a lot of areas of his game that need to improve. So that's why when it comes to Tammy Abraham, I'm like, cool, you're staying. Giroud again is not long term, so he's going to be here maybe for a couple more seasons. But there's space opening up for him. But this is the striker position, and we have Timo as well. So I'm not going to say we don't play Timo and we play Tammy. If it's whoever's playing the best, it's whoever's on form. Tammy's got competition. He's playing. I think he's 22, maybe touching 23. He's been here. He's been around a bit longer. Do you know what I mean? And position is not a joke, man. Position. There's certain positions in this team where we don't play. Goalkeeper, we don't play. Striker, we don't play. Because those two positions, if you've ever heard interviews with players, those two positions, players can relate to each other a lot more. When you miss chances as a striker, it's all your fault. When you don't make saves as a goalkeeper, it's all your fault. Those are the only two positions on the pitch. You don't get cover and you don't get a chance to run. You don't get a chance to run from your mistakes. You don't get a chance to get any cover or anybody backing you up in terms of you made a mistake, but you can get a cover from another position. You fuck up, it's lights out, and everybody will see it. And those are the two positions where I've always said, regardless of what plan we are building, those two positions need to have top draw players, and my patience is less for those positions because those positions are make or break. And this is still Chelsea Football Club. We still need to be pushing at the top always, no matter what time it is. So those two positions are different for me in terms of player progression. But yeah.
Okay. No, I hear that. And to be honest, you sold that really well. I want to move on to this question because this also moves us on to another topic as well. Looking at the goalkeepers and the DMs that we still need to get into the club that Lampard said that we're going to try and bring in, players still need to go out. And I remember I always go back to this Matt Law report that he said like a month ago. We were saying we need to sell in order to buy of our defensive reinforcements, but we still haven't even sold yet. So I'm thinking, especially in this case, we are going to have to make some sales in order to buy. Who do you see going out right now? I've already put Mishi's name down here because he must just be one name for everyone right now. But who else are you feeling?
Mitchie's got to go. Like, honestly, let's not even tap dance around that one. He has got to go. He's been woeful in terms of this last season just gone by, man. He's had a few clutch moments, goals against Ajax, goals against West Brom, but he's not good enough.
That's it. He's on 100k a week as well.
Yeah, man. It's not even a debate for me. It's not a debate for me. And then Barkley's got to go. I've been screaming it for the longest. I don't care what purple patch he wants to have. I'm not fucking with it because we have Havertz now, we have Mount, we have Loftus-Cheek, we have Kovacic who can play that in between. He can still play in the midfield three, but he'll play the role differently and be the in between to give us a little bit more balance. You even have Billy Gilmore when he comes back from injury, you can play in that role as well. So I don't need to see Ross Barkley anymore. Obviously, we got rid of the wingers that I didn't want to see anymore, so that's brilliant. Emerson's another one. Emerson's got to go.
We need to lower our valuation on him, though.
Yeah, I mean,
on 25 mil, he ain't worth that.
Yeah, but you know what we're like. It's Moreno, so she'll probably get it, and she'll get what she wants anyway. Do you know what I mean? She's the queen of negotiations. It doesn't matter what our players are worth. She'll manage to get more. Morata wasn't worth what Atletico Madrid paid, but she still held them by the neck. Hold them. I don't care, fam. You're paying. She still held them. She still held them by the neck. So Emerson's got to go. He's been. I'm disappointed in Emerson the most this season because I actually thought he would be decent. I didn't think he was going to be world class. I wasn't screaming best left back in England at the start of the season when he had a good patch, but I thought he'll be competent, he'll be good, and maybe we'll have to upgrade soon, but it won't be a problem. He's been so disappointing since the injury, hasn't stepped up. He's been poor defensively, poor going forward, just poor across the board. So he's got to go. If I could have it my way, I would get rid of Alonso as well, and I would get I'd bring in a Jamal Lewis, or I'd do something at left back where we just have two new left backs.
Left backs. Oh, yeah, mate,
yeah. I I don't rate Marcus Alonso at left back at all. I think he's a left wing back by trade, as always. I think, whenever he's played well at left back, I think it's usually been, Tomori having a blinder against Liverpool, covering his ass for Salah. Don't get me wrong, he's had solid games, but he's not the kind of, for the way I want to watch football, and this is always personal preference, for the way I want to watch football, Alonso does not play how I want to watch football. He's just too clunky on the ball. He's too one-footed. He doesn't use his right foot with ball control. I watch him all the time. He's great at taking the ball out of the air when goal kicks come, and he's great out ball. But just in general play, his crossing, accuracy, everything, I'm just not interested. He's a great goal scorer for clutch moments, but I'm not trying to hear it. We don't need that anymore. We've got forwards who can score goals, so this clutch moment goal scoring shit don't run. And I'm just not trying to see him anymore. I'm cool. I'm moving on. So if we could get rid of him, I'd be very happy. Rudiger's another one. He's not going to go because we've just signed 2 German internationals, but I would like him to go as well. I think he's massively overrated by this fan base at the start of the season, saying that he was our best centre-back, and he really just wasn't,
The amount of people who fell for this. I might have said something dodgy as well. I might have got everything too.
Because he played really well in a back 3 against Wolves, and people were getting emotional over 45 minutes, and it's fine, you know what I mean? But I told you, sometimes people like to say how wrong I am, so I like to say when I'm right, don't forget. I get it wrong, but when I'm right, don't forget it, man. And I said it from the beginning, Rudiger wasn't the guy. Everyone loves to bring out the ZH tweets, but I hold my hands up when I get it wrong on Declan Rice and whatnot. But when I get it right, don't forget, fam. And Rudiger, I was just saying, preaching that, listen, this guy's error prone. I think we saw against West Ham, his communication, he's not the leader we all thought. He shouts and he barks, but so do dogs. Do you know what I mean? It's like, it doesn't mean anything.
Same thing Louise did. He shouts and blame people.
You don't know what you're speaking of. If you don't know what you're talking about, then no one's going to listen. Like, I can shout all the time. It's a bit like being at school. If a teacher shouts at you, but they don't know what they're doing, you don't respect it. Do you know what I mean? Like, you can't shout and then lose your man from a free kick against Newcastle and letting a goal. It's just that we can't talk to each other. I will not listen to you. So that's.
Oh no, I think he might have gone again. Kazuha said it perfectly. He's savagery. He's bang on. Oh shit, he might be back in a couple seconds. Bear with us, please, or just start pressing F in the comment section. Christensen, that's another option as well. I think Christensen's on his last legs. This is a make or break season for him. It's the same way with Loftus-Cheek. They really got to stamp their claim on this Chelsea side this season. We'll give Matisse another minute. If he don't end up coming up, I'll just end up wrapping this off. I think this has been a good stream anyway. Literally bare Fs in the comment section. Oh, it's always the Wi-Fi that kills us. He's gone as well. Oh, wait, is he back up?
Yeah, I don't know what's going on.
There he is.
I had to connect to my hotspot because something mad happened.
No worries. You were mid to rant or something. What were you?
Yeah. Don't worry, I can always pick it up. So yeah, with Rudiger, it's just he's just not that guy, man. And like I said, I don't mind him staying for the German connection of F to pay respects, exactly. F, spam that shit. You man know what it's like with these Wi-Fi companies. They don't really know what they're doing. Man. It's a myth. This is why I'm not on YouTube. Do you see what I'm talking about now? You see what?
Bro, the only reason why I'm uploading regularly is because I've got fiber optic. And I can upload in minutes. Before that, my upload retention on this channel was so bad for years. Yeah. So I completely feel your pain.
The thing is, when I do YouTube, I want to do it right. So with this Wi-Fi situation, we're not doing it. There's so many things wrong. You guys don't understand. I can do the camera things, but everything outside of that is a mess right now. So it'll soon come. But when it comes to Rudiger, he's just not that guy. And I don't mind him staying for the year because he needs to help Timo and Kai settle in. But after that, I would like him to go now, but he's probably not going to go. So he's another one. Jorginho is a different situation because I'm very respectful of Jorginho because I appreciate what he did in his first season with Sarri. He helped our team play with the ball. We were coming from suffer ball under Kante. We did get slapped up against Watford, if people forget. It wasn't just the Sarri slappings of Man City. We got slapped up against for Kante as well. Finished it off with the FA Cup, but we was playing some shocking football. I remember away to Man City, we couldn't even get the ball.
There's been some
man, it was dreadful. And to have that change where we went from playing and being a team that had like 30% possession to going with a team that dominated the football and came into the modern era. You see teams that are counter-attacking now. If we didn't change our ways, you see Atletico, do you know what I mean? Not having the ball it's not the way forward if you're trying to win Champions League. So Yeah, I just really I have a lot of time and respect for Jorginho, even though he needs to go because this system don't suit him. We saw him get spun against Sheffield United, and I'm not trying to see that. I'm not trying to see him get abused. You know, he's been an utmost professional this whole time. I'm just trying to see him go and do his thing in Italy where he should be. So he's another one that needs to go. But I don't trust Jorginho because Jorginho was good for us last season, and he had a great season. Do you know what I mean? Like, you see his stats. Even this season, he's got great stats. But you know what I mean? He's the reason why Lampard can come in here after Sarri and play with the ball. Do you know what I mean? If we didn't have that in between season that people disrespect so often, the season that got us back into the Champions League, the season that won the trophy, if people, the season that gave us Baku, if you don't respect that season and you just think like Lampard can come, an inexperienced manager with 1 year's experience at Derby can just come from suffer ball and switch it all up like this without Sarri in between, without Jorginho in between. Hey, listen, that's on you. But I'm not gonna smoke that weed. So I'm just gonna pay my respects to Jorginho. He's got to go, but I pay my respects. Kepa's got to go. I don't even know why we haven't gotten to that boy yet. I don't really think I need to say too much on him. I mean,
it's got to be the 4-year contract at this point that's holding him back.
Yeah, I think. Do you know what? I think if the club could get rid of him, they would. A lot of people saw Petr Cech's comments and they were like, "Oh, he must love." No, he doesn't. Like, if you watched Petr Cech in his prime and you watched Kepa, they're the complete opposite of goalkeepers. One was a dominating, commanding, putting up the record stats in the Premier League for save percentages. Yeah, he's the best goalkeeper in the Premier League of all time statistically. Statistically, I don't want to hear about Schmeichel and Van der Sar. You can have your favorites if you're, but statistically, Petr Cech is the greatest Premier League keeper of all time. He is the one who saved penalties in Munich. Drogba made fouls in penalty boxes against Robben. He saved us. He's the hero as well too. Don't forget that. Drogba got his penalty, but without Petr Cech, we don't win now. Right? The GOAT when it comes to Premier League goalkeepers. There's no fucking way. Sorry for swearing. There's no way that he watched Kepa last season and said to himself, "Yeah, I fuck with him. That's the guy. That's the guy." Are you for real? This guy can't save crosses. This guy don't save shots. This guy don't communicate. This guy don't lead. This guy don't. The ball comes across against Liverpool, flashing across the box, and the defenders are like, "Yeah, my goalkeeper's gonna come claim that. Let me just leave it." And Kepa's just standing there. This is a goalkeeper who, for 30% of the shots coming on goal, he's standing still. This is a goalkeeper with the worst save percentage for a goalkeeper with 1,000+ minutes of all time in the Premier League. And you're trying to tell me the goalkeeper setting the best stats wants him around. Don't waste my time. Come on now. Don't do this. So no, he doesn't want him to stay. You're smoking if you think he does. And he's just doing it for PR because it doesn't make sense for Petr Cech to come out into the press and say, "I don't want this guy." Who says that? You don't say that as a director of football. You don't advertise your players like that. If you're trying to sell a washing machine, you don't tell me it's shit. You don't do that. You tell me it's the best thing ever, and then I'll buy it. So, of course, he's going to say Kepa's good. Of course, he's going to say he has a future. So then they come in. You take the bait. It's the same with my video. Take the bait. Come get it. Then you sell him. You get your money. That's what he's trying to do. But it's very clear. Lampard don't trust his backside. Cech don't trust his backside. Otherwise, we wouldn't have 40-year-old Caballero starting. So don't do this Ramadullah. I don't know what you call it. Ramen noodles. He's coming back for second season hype. It's not happening. It's not happening. I will die on this sword, fam. I don't have time for goalkeepers who don't save shots and don't claim crosses. You can do all the fancy footwork you like, but football is a very simple game when it comes to goalkeepers. There's shots coming at goal. Can you save them? If you can't, that's it.
Then there's a problem.
He may improve next season, but I don't see him being world class. I don't see him having world class potential. I don't see that. He's never shown it at Bilbao. He didn't show it last season when we kind of overhyped his season because everybody hated Courtois and we had a fancy My Kepa hashtag. He was okay, but he wasn't amazing last season. You know, statistically, we'll show you that as well. So for me, personally, it's time to go. But if we can't get rid of him, get a stopgap so I don't have to watch him in goal. I'm just going to be cutthroat with it. I just need to see something else.
Okay, one last question before we go towards the final question, wrap this up. This is just more like thinking about it, but it's all speculation. When we were in for Jan Oblak, I was personally thinking, compared to a centre-back, compared to a left-back, if we could put all our money in and just cash out that release clause and get Jan Oblak in, I thought it would be a better long-term signing for us than a centre-back. How are you feeling on that? Because I've always thought like a player of Jan Oblak's quality can just win you games single-handedly, the same way De Gea did it for Manchester United. And I think that is more vital to us than a defense would be, even though defense does win you titles, and you can never try and underestimate a good defense. Looking at what a goalkeeper that good can do for you, do you think it would have been more vital as getting a goalkeeper of his quality than an experienced centre-back?
I mean, Thiago Silva is free, and he's not on high wages, so I don't really play the game of one or the other because
that one just cancels that one.
Because it was free. Like we can exactly. But in terms of what's more important, centre back or goalkeeper, it was goalkeeper before, and with Thiago Silva coming in, it is undeniably goalkeeper now. Because, like I said, and I didn't say anything rude. A lot of people will say I'm being rude to Kepa. I'm not really being rude. I'm just listing out the facts and the statistics. And unfortunately, they don't paint him very well to be a very nice goalkeeper. I'm not even being rude. I didn't call him no names. I didn't even, you know what I mean? I ain't being rude. I'm just telling you what happened last season. And I'm telling you what the stats, what the eye test showed and what the stats showed. Do you know what I mean? And that's the facts of the matter. Now, you can't go into a season with a goalkeeper at that level. Like a goalkeeper where we're talking about Arsenal's backup in Martinez being better than our starter. That doesn't I can't take that. Do you know what I mean? The goalkeeping situation can save you 10 or 15 points. It did with Cech, it did with Courtois. So it works the same way now. And I know our defense isn't perfect, but with Thiago Silva leading them, Zuma had a good season. I'm expecting him to get better and kick on. Christensen's always given me an upset stomach because I don't know whether he's going to perform or he's not. Yeah. Rudiger, I've already mentioned. Tomori, I see potential in, but for some reason, he was just dropped out of the team for no reason when he was on good form with Zuma, and we never saw him again. I don't know if someone kidnapped that boy. So the defense will still be dodgy if we don't sort out our coaching, if we don't stop the spaces in between the lines, if we don't start handling transitions better, if we don't get our shape, if we don't press like a unit instead of pressing in a 4-4-2 against Bayern, and then 3 passes later, we're conceding. These are things that have to improve for our defense. We need to sort out our coaching. Lampard has to improve in his coaching defensively, or we need to get a defensive coach. Those things need to improve for the defense to improve. Nobody, no rice, no carbohydrate will change that. It won't. He will improve it, but he won't change it. His leadership is unmatched. I'm not going to lie. His leadership looks unbelievable. But him coming in won't solve all our problems. He'll improve us in some regard, but he won't solve all the problems. So that's why I'm not really jumping on we must get Rice, because I also rate Ampadu very highly. I think Ampadu's very similar type player to Rice in terms of what he offers, versatility, leadership, and I just don't think we've utilized it yet. But in terms of goalkeeper, there's nothing we can do there. Like, there's no training on God's earth that can stop that mess back there. We must get a new goalkeeper. So I want it to be Oblak, but I never believed it was going to happen. I wanted it to be Ter Stegen, never believed it was going to happen. I personally don't have a target, but we must get a goalkeeper. Even if it's a stopgap, we must get a goalkeeper.
Just for the competition, in my opinion, as well. But final question before I wrap this stream up. Also, big up everyone who's been watching this stream. We've got 600 guys on right now, which is a madness. So big up all you guys. Final question. We're going to keep it simple. Predictions for the season, Champions League and domestics. Now, I'd not ask you to go too far and say, are we going to win the title or not? We both know it can happen, but there's still a lot of tough competition out there. But what are your thoughts for the season right now with the team that we have? Yeah,
I mean, with this attack, I believe we can almost do Ancelotti type wizardry up there. Like when we were hitting teams for 7-8s. I'm not expecting this to happen, but I believe this team is capable. If they get the chemistry right and they get the fluidity and they start, really all playing to their peak, I believe this team can hit teams for 5, for 6. We can bury teams. I do believe that. The defense will be a problem still. For me, because I do believe that it's just going to take a few years. I really do believe it's going to take a while. And it also depends on who we bring in terms of goalkeeping. But my expectation would be top 3, especially when I'm looking at Man United's business. I was always saying top 4, but just play better, defend better, show progression in your tactics, show progression in the style of football we play, and just be a better team. It's not always about the finishing position, just like it's not always about the match. We can lose a game but play well, and I'll still praise us. We can win a game and play shit, and I'll still be like, what the fuck? So it's not always about the finishing position. But I just want to see improvement on the pitch. Now with the way Man United are moving, where they don't want to talk to Sancho anymore and all of this extra stuff, then maybe we should be finishing top 3. That's my expectation. But even if we finish top 4, I'm not going to cry about it because, you know, this is we're doing a long-term project. It's got to be, but I expect us to finish top 3. And I expect us to close the gap on Liverpool and Man City for sure. And then I do expect a cup win. I don't, you know, I'm a big believer of that. I was very pissed off with that cup final against Arsenal. I don't like losing finals. None of us do. But especially with a young team, I believe I place importance on the FA Cup. I place importance on the League Cup. I wouldn't place too much importance on the League Cup if we had a team of winners who I expect to win the Premier League. I expect them to go far in the Champions League. Then I don't expect that. The League Cup is just like, it's just a side piece. It's just a side chick. I don't expect too much from you. But with this team that are needing to win something for the first time, Lampard win his first trophy, the confidence will breed around the place to say, look, we've all come into the Chelsea first team as youngsters and we've won some shit. We're not trying to be Tottenham, who haven't won a trophy since 2008. We're not trying to be that guy. We're trying to be a team that wins. So to enforce that winning mentality and take it from the FA Youth Cups to the FA Cups, that's huge for me. So I need and almost expect a cup win. I don't really care what cup it is, but it needs to be one of those cups because we need that. We need that for the young team. Need to feel they need to be winners. We're not breeding losers. You know what I mean? That team under Mourinho, you know, Joe Cole spoke about it very well. We won the Carling Cup and it felt like the Champions League. And the reason why is because it was the start of something. And he made it very clear from the start of the season, we're winning that trophy. February, I want you winners. We're not talking about Prem. We're not talking about Champions League. February, you're winners. That's the first trophy that we can win. You go and win it. Simple as that. And that's what I'm trying to see from this team next season. I wanted to see it last season, to be honest, because I as much as I love the free season and development and whatnot, we must always try and win something. This is Chelsea. We don't fuck with this no winning thing. Like top 4 is not a trophy. I said it when we made top 4. I was happy, but I wasn't celebrating. I don't celebrate positions. I celebrate trophies. When I talk to my grandkids or my kids in the future, what are my favorite times watching Chelsea? What are my moments to talk to them about? I'm not going to talk to them last season about when we made top 4. I swear to God, I'm not going to talk to them about finals and about wins and about trophies because that's what goes up on the board. That's what goes up onto Wikipedia. That's what I want to see. Do you know what I mean? I'm not
exactly that.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to see. So that's what I want. I want a trophy, and we can get that and keep our status in the top 3 as well. Get that top 3, and it's a good season. And then we kick on from there. But all these new signings have to gel. There has to be chemistry. There's a lot of things that come into it. So I'm not expecting, you know, I'm patient. I'm patient with it. It's a long-term plan.
All right, cool. Well, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this live stream. Again, apologies there weren't a video yesterday, but I just didn't think there was anything that was worth the 10-minute clip. Guys, also don't forget to check out Matisse Armani. The @ is literally down here on the right. But if you guys want to post any more socials as well, I'll leave a link down to the description below. But Matisse, where can they find you, bro?
Yeah, man, Twitter, you know where it goes. All the drama, the controversy happens there. That's where the entertainment, that's where the madness happens. And then when you get there, you'll see Instagram's there. I'm gonna start doing something on Instagram, I think, but I don't know yet because a lot of people are asking for it. But I've got a lot of my mates from secondary school, and I don't really want to piss them off.
So see, that's why I don't touch it as well.
Yeah, do you know what? I don't really fuck with Instagram. I don't like the platform as a whole. The way that it's all scrolly and and
it feels like more of a scrapbook for your life.
Yeah, it's not really for me. I do stuff with Cheeky Sport. If you want to see me on Instagram, you follow Cheeky Sport as well, which you'll see on my Instagram plugged. Everything's very easy. I make it very easy. The links are in my bios. What I'm involved in is in my bio. So if you want to see me on other platforms, click on those stuff and you'll probably see me pop up with a video on Instagram, but it will just be on Cheeky Sports because let's just face it, they got more clout on their Instagram than me. So but
utilize it.
Yeah, if you follow me on Twitter, anything that I do, I will put it on there. Like you'll see it, I'll retweet it, podcasts, streams, whatever. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, just go to Twitter. If you can't be asked to do anything else, go to Twitter.
All right, guys. Yeah. Thanks for watching this live stream with us. I'll be back for you tomorrow with yet another video. Don't forget to like and subscribe to Carefree Lewis G. Again, I'm going to leave all the links to Matisse's bios and everything down in the description below, so check that out. And we'll see you guys very, very soon. Take care and up the Chelsea.